What up, though? It's Jalen Rose. Welcome back to the Renaissance Man and the New York Post. I'm really honored to have my next guest. He's my brother from another mother. I've known him for over 2 decades, and to watch his progression, how he continued to reinvent himself. You guys see him acting, hosting, doing television shows and comedy. You also see him being a humanitarian, but representing St. Louis to the fullest. Cedric the Entertainer.
Yes,
What's up,
sir.
family?
J Rose, what's up, fam?
Hey, man,
It's
I
like
appreciate you.
this your 93rd podcast right
now. I learned from you. I learned from Steve coming to the show, and y'all had jobs on jobs on jobs.
Yeah,
and
man.
that work ethic and that sacrifice and discipline is what continues to have you doing what you're doing today on an elite level. So I'm going to introduce you to the world like they don't know you, even though I know most of the answer to these questions, if that's okay.
Indeed.
So I know Cedric the Entertainer isn't your government name. When did you decide to add that?
You know, that name came about. It was really kind of an osmosis thing, man. I was performing in a club in St. Louis, and the guys, I was a new comedian, and he kept introducing all the other guys before me as comedians. This next comedian, this next comedian. But I sang when I got on stage. I did poems. I would do anything to fill my time up. So I said, don't call me a comedian. Call me an entertainer. Just out of respect that I didn't have enough jokes to be considered a comedian. And so he called me Cedric the Entertainer, and I went up, I had a killer show, got a stand ovation. When I came off, he called me Cedric the Entertainer again, and I just kept it. That was it. That was the name.
That's dope. And I've watched you perform hundreds of times. And so your versatility on stage to earn the name Entertainer. So can you recall the song that you were singing or the poetry that you did?
Yeah, I used to do, the big thing was I would do like Luther Vandross. So, you know, one of my big jokes back then was Luther being little, and he learned to sing because he was fat in elementary school. So he would sing his alphabets. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, L, M, N, O, P. And then Big Luther, all the girls would be like, Luther, you want some out of my lunchbox? And he would say yes, and that's why he got a weight problem.
So I was fortunate enough to be able to come to set multiple times, as you and Steve Harvey did an amazing job of having you guys show on for 6 seasons.
Yeah, man.
That is crazy. What are some of your fondest memories of that opportunity?
I mean, one, you know, when we did the High Tops, we got to work with, you know, Ron Isley, and, you know, so that was great, like to have like the legendary Ron Isley be a part of things with us, you know, and then of course, you know, we had Stan Lathan, one of the legendary directors, just won an Emmy for, you know, directing all the Dave Chappelle stuff, and Winifred Herbie. So, you know, Steve and I, we were partners first. So we was doing this show. Then we started the Kings of Comedy at the same time. So you just talk about being on an amazing run, man, where we got a TV show, then we jumping on the jets, doing arenas on the weekends. So just that whole vibe, man. And of course, the beautiful actresses that was on the show, Terry J. Vaughn and Wendy Raquel Robinson, all that was dope, man.
Said y'all went from doing comedy shows to doing arenas, okay, to doing stadiums. Talk about that evolution. Talk about that evolution.
You know, because you start with St. Louis, you don't never visualize yourself doing comedy like you know, other than some little club, you know, kind of performing around. But, you know, that tour started, man, and, you know, it was rock star stuff, man. You talking about showing up like the Rolling Stones, man. We all got individual limos, and it's 15,000, 18,000 people out there. At the time, I wasn't married, Jalen. So
I know.
I know what you like. I know.
So I'm going to name one of the kings of comedy, and please tell me one of your fondest memories. First, the late, great Bernie Mac.
Legendary. My fondest memory of Bernie Mac was in Oakland. We performed. I had all the celebs backstage. Gary Payton, E40. It was a lot of other, like stars, football stars in the house and stuff. And so I would go up first, and there would be an intermission. So my partners would go get all my friends and everybody. We'd be in my room partying, drinking, hanging out. And then Bernie Mac came in the room and did another 5-10 minute set in our room. It just made everybody just laugh. And he just walked out like, I'm Bernie Mac. I'm out this motherfucker. Just turned around and walked out. That was one of my favorite Bernie Mac moments ever.
You don't understand. He was such a legend.
Oh man, he had all the little catchphrases. I'm on the 50-yard line, but it's first and goal. He was like, what? Like, I don't understand that one.
All right, our brother who does a terrific job of being a champion for social justice, D.L. Hughley.
Oh man, DL was again always a legend. He's one of my favorite guys. We still, very tight. He was over at the house the other day. DL came on the tour. We actually had started the tour without DL. So we started it the first year, and Guy Torrey was on hosting. It was me, Bernie, then Steve, and then DL came on. And so, once he came on, he was my drinking partner, man. So we we pretty much tore it up all around the world. that was Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. We the combination band right there. We tore it down, man. So it's too many of those memories to talk about.
And both of y'all hat games stay crazy.
Yeah, I was just talking about that. All the boys stole my hat game. I was the first one to really be rocking the hats on stage. And then eventually everybody, I feel like they all, started to lose their hair. And then they bit my style. But both Steve and DL hat game be loose now. He'd be out there, he making me have to turn up. I had to go get a whole brand new hat guy messing around with DL.
And I'm glad you brought up the last person I was going to ask you about, because I don't know who has more jobs, you or Steve Harvey. Tell me one of your fondest memories of our brother.
Big Dog is, he's been my partner, man, for so many years, man. I mean, one of the things was what I remember is we had finished Steve Harvey show. We making a killing we were making a killing on the road, and it was an opportunity to go back and do the 6th season. And so Steve, he was talking to me, said, man, we should do this for the girls. We should do this for the younger actors and go back just one more time. We good, but what you think about that? And I was like, let's do it, man. So, that was just the kind of thing, he would always do that. He'd be plugged into LA on some other levels. I remember going to, doing the riots afterwards, and he had the FOI all around, and Steve would take you go down there and be in the middle of the action. So, he's just one of these guys that was always plugged into the whole situation, man, and still is. So call him quite often. We still them partners like that. So we still rock and roll, man.
That's love. That's how it's supposed to be, kings of comedy. The other thing you guys always did beside keep a fresh cut or keep a fresh lineup was always be suited and booted. Yeah. So nowadays, comics like Trevor Noah, for example, they talk about wearing jeans and T-shirts.
Yeah, man, it was totally different. I mean, like you said, we came up in that era where you was considered a professional. You wanted to go on stage and look like a professional, you know what I mean? So, and Steve was definitely one of the people that taught me that. Like, he was always that, from the very beginning. And then us, me being Midwest dudes, how I was, that were like all our old OGs, that's what they did. When you got to a level where you was considered like a player out there, even if you was a senior in high school, where you was the top of the food chain, you got on some slacks, you wearing a nice sweater, you got your hair fresh, and so it became a little more like later in life where the jean and the T-shirt and the tennis shoe game became more prevalent. But I definitely come from that era where you put on the freshness and you go let them see what you got in that closet, man. You pull up. So that was we love that. And so, you know, I always say this, you know, we ain't in no rock band, man. We just can't come out of no t-shirt, bro.
How do you feel as somebody that can go from the neighborhood to the suburbs and you have an audience from 8 to 80 about the cancel culture, how it affects your jokes?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's one of those things. I feel like, you know, one of my favorite characters I've ever played was Eddie on the Barbershop, which you got to be in. You know, we made that work, but that character was one that got to say what he wanted to say, and I think that, you know, you start to believe in that as long as you're being honest and you being like sincere about what it is that you're saying, you know, you don't want to be careless or reckless or definitely, you know, inconsiderate of other folks. You know, if indeed you know, if you find out that you said something truly inconsiderate to other people. But in general, be honest and be sincere about what it is you're saying, and then stand on that, even if you get some flack. So I really just kind of rock with that philosophy, man. I try to be honestly who I am, and you know, and again, I do it with with decorum in the forefront, where I'm trying to be, you know, where I'm thinking about what it is I'm saying, so that I'm not being reckless when I say it. But if I got to say something that's bold and up to the line, then I've got to do that. It reminds me what you did the other day on your show. You like, I might get in trouble for this, but I'm fresh. I'm gonna be.
I got that from you. Casket clean.
Yeah, I'm off the top. So just in case this is the last day.
I had to let them know. And congratulations, by the way. 2019, you received a star on the Walk of Fame. Did that feel like one of those I made it moments?
It was definitely a moment where, you know, you recognize that, you know, to be recognized for the work that you've done, to think about the history, to actually go back. Because, you know, I think most of us, you know, you kind of wake up every day and you do your job and you don't really wait for the accolades. You just do what it is that's your blessing and your opportunity to do it. And so that was one of those moments where I got to sit back and reflect and think about all the things that I've accomplished as a little dude from, you know, Missouri, St. Louis, coming up, you know, went to college, worked for State Farm, and then discovered I can do comedy. So yeah, that was definitely a prideful moment, man, to be able to see my name in the streets like that, to be recognized. It would, along with amongst so many other great people. You go down there and you see Richard Pryor star, and you see, you know, Marvin Gaye star. It's just like, yeah, man, I feel good about this situation for sure.
You deserve that. So what is next for those that don't know for Cedric the Entertainer?
Really a lot of producing, man. You know, I've been really creating a lot of shows for other people now, taking this opportunity, had a big overall deal at CBS because the neighborhood is doing so well. And so just really, really happy to be able to create for others and put people into the position by, you know, using the influence that I have at this network. And so got a couple of movies coming out. I got a couple of cool movies I did. Playing the legendary Ralph Abernathy in a movie called Son of the South coming out. This movie called Opening Act coming out, where it's dope. It's about the world to stand up, and I'm a comic like Red Fox. It's pretty dope, man. So I'm looking forward to people seeing these things and just kind of really keep building, man. Directing a little bit. So, you know, just staying steady, man, but definitely looking now to create opportunities for other people.
Well, you're really versatile, and it's only right. So before I let you get out of here, and I know you're on the golf course, I appreciate you taking the family love to spend time with me. I have a final segment that I like to call Gone in 60 Seconds. Where you rapid fire answer as many questions as possible. But I know you got a corporate job just like I work for Disney, so I'm not going to ask you any questions that might get you fired because we need you to keep your job.
Okay.
So here we go. What comedian besides yourself has the illest style in history?
Steve Harvey.
LA comedy clubs or New York?
New York.
What's worse, losing your wallet or bombing on stage?
Ooh, oh man, that both of them rough right there. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with losing your wallet, man. You know, you can bomb on stage, don't believe it. Sometimes that's more than what people think.
What do you prefer, stand-up or game show hosting?
Stand up.
15 seconds. Will there be a barbershop 4?
Let's hope so, man. I really enjoy that character. That's one of my favorite characters to play. Love doing it.
When you're putting together an outfit, what's the most important thing? I knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say that. And the weather changing, you about to have different feathers, different cuts, everything.
Yes, the hat game is what it's all about with me, baby.
Well, I appreciate you, my brother. Continue success, and I'll catch up with you soon.
You too, Jay. Right on, man. Congratulations on this, man, and everything you're doing, man. You're a true leader. You know, the academy. I want to come there too. Like, I was supposed to shoot a movie in Detroit. Want to come see it, see how it's done. But all these things, man, you're just innovative and a leader, man. Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci, what up, my brother? I need you to put somebody in the trunk for me. I'll talk to you about it another time.
That's Jalen Rose, man.
All right, family. Have a good time.
All right, fam. Big up.
Love.
Salute to you, man.
Yes, indeed. Chat soon.